if I paid $200 and I saw someone's back and butt cheeks, it's not worth it.
Oh,
you're a horny little boy if you think that's worth it.
I am a horny little boy.
Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this?
It's another edition of KFC Radio on the Barstool Sports Network. As you listen to this, I'm on vacation. We did a little pre-recording ahead of time. So the news of the moment right now is one that we've been talking about a lot, and
Almost too much.
I definitely am like every time something comes out, I'm like,
but it's like we talk about Twitter, right? Like it's.
But I also think I keep saying we were on it. Like we brought it up, and then there's a reason. Like we were right because everything has been OnlyFans news every single day since then, and there's a little revolution going on now. I actually feel like at one point I was an ally for those in OnlyFans, and now I feel like I'm part of the problem.
What do you mean?
Because the latest hubbub on OnlyFans is that Bella Thorne has ruined things.
Yes.
And at first I was like, see, look, Bella Thorne's making all this money. You should go do it too. And it turns out that for the average person who they all consider themselves sex workers, and the average person who's like trying to make ends meet and really trying to make a career off of OnlyFans, Bella being like a scam artist has fucked up the whole platform. They're looking into like how tips are done. They're changing things around because Bella made so much fucking money doing nothing that the OnlyFans like platform is like, well, hang on, we got to fix this.
Well, no, that's not what it was. It was she DM'd all her followers and was like, subscribe to this extra $200 tip, or give me a $200 tip, and we get a nude tonight. And then everyone gave her a $200 tip, and then she didn't post a nude. Oh. So then so many people asked for a refund,
money back,
that OnlyFans like, I don't think they had that kind of cash on hand, and they were just like, we can't give that refund. Like, we don't have that money.
So now are they stopping tips?
So now
in
it's
general?
like, I think the most you can give as a tip is $100, and then
what a bitch!
It's something, and don't quote me on this entirely. And then it's something like the regular people now they only get those tips like once a month rather than getting it immediately. And then also there's some other process that like she changed around.
Bella came in. And it would be like if, you were a stripper and you had the whole system going well and some celebrity comes in and fucks it all up. Yeah. Or if you're working as an escort and somebody blows the whole thing up. Like there were people who were like, that was their job, or they were making money that they needed. Bella Thorne comes in and, I mean, openly was scamming, kind of. She was like, I'm not posting nudity, and you all signed up anyway. And then there are
a lot of people on OnlyFans like that.
Yeah,
like that, where it's just like they just post there. We were talking about the other
little risque photos and not like anything
basically
aggressive,
but a little bit more of a higher end Instagram.
I'm surprised that OnlyFans didn't just go to her and say, post the nude.
Yeah,
because that's what's the easier solution? Let me come up with 10,000 people's worth of $200 tips, or just you fucking follow through on your promise. I would have said like you either like, if I was the OnlyFans executive, I would have said post the nude to follow through, and if she said no, I'd kick her off the platform, and then I would give all those people like vouchers, because it's like we don't have $2 million on hand, because that's how many of you motherfuckers paid $200 for a nude. I mean, also by the way, if you're paying $200 for just a nude picture, you're a fucking loser.
Yeah, but dude, there's something about it.
$200, John.
If someone DM me right now, I was like, I'll send you a nude for $200.
Folks, you heard it. I mean, this is actually why OnlyFans does work. You
gotta have again. Like, we did it when we first talked about it. Like, I want to see everybody naked.
Yeah,
I want to see. I want to see face though.
I want to see video. A picture's not doing it for me.
Pictures do it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like it doesn't.
1998.
It won't I won't jerk off to it, but it'll get me going.
I mean, it'll get me going, but will it get you going $200 worth?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I mean, fucking spend $200 on lunch.
Yeah, right. It's like $200 on fucking delivery food fees alone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like it's fucking really easy to spend $200. I might as well see a vagina.
Yeah. But you're right. I do like if I'm actually okay with the anonymous shit, but I have to know that it's like actually you somehow.
That's what I mean.
It could just be a fucking Google image for all I know.
That's what I'm okay with anonymous as well, but like there's got to be something
proof
about
of life,
so I know it's you.
It's
not a Google image. It's not fucking Christina Rose, like just her fucking body. Which, by the way, That is still the sexiest music video I've ever seen in my
Christina
entire life.
Rose? Who's that?
You don't know who Christina Rose is?
I don't think
watched
so.
her literally this morning. She's a porn star. I'm gonna
Hang on. While I look this up, let me tell you about Owen's Mixers. They are the #1 mixer company out there right now. They're the only mixer company as far as I'm concerned. Everybody else is just like, orange juice and cranberry juice, and Owen's Mixers slapped the name on it, created craft cocktail mixers ranging from spicy margarita mix to mint cucumber lime mix, all the way down to the Barstool Foreplay transfusion mix. That's the hot shit right now in the streets for this summer. Foreplay and the Golf Boys have been drinking transfusions all summer long. It's grape juice mixed with ginger ale. You mix it up with some New Amsterdam vodka. It's delicious and refreshing, and it's the perfect summer cocktail. You can keep drinking it all through the fall. You can drink it through the winter for all I give a fuck. All of a sudden, you're going to blink and it's going to be summer again, and you're still drinking transfusions with the Owens Mixers. All you got to do is add vodka to all these things. You add vodka to the mint mix, to the...
I prefer to add tequila, but you can have
Sure. Add anything except gin. Gin's crazy.
No, Gin's having a moment.
Gin, you are getting so played by Ryan Reynolds. So played.
No, dude, I've actually been having not a lot of gin, but occasionally I'll have some gin. It is
what
I
kind?
enjoy it.
Hey.
This her?
Yes, this is it.
Yeah, I'm watching it right now.
Oh.
Is that on YouTube? You
Yeah.
can show this on YouTube?
Oh, I opened the Vimeo page because the song is actually awesome.
Since when can you show vaginas on YouTube? Anyway, go to Owens Mixer's website, or go to the Barstool Sports store, or go to your local liquor store. They might have the Owens Mixers in stock. Since when can you show pussy on YouTube?
I don't.
We get strikes for like playing certain songs and shit. She could just show her asshole.
This is definitely just like the YouTube hasn't caught it yet or something.
It must be.
This
is uploaded in 2014.
We're gonna pause for a second.
Are we? Or are we just gonna let it run? Let me just do a little commentary here. So this is a porn star. She's made a music video.
Yeah, the song's dope too.
This is like an old school. I mean, that's like a old iPhone. Christina Rose. Am I familiar with her?
I'm very familiar with her.
But who? So this is just like her. I thought it was her song.
No.
So she just made a music video rapping. This is like if you were to ever have a like fantasy of like your maid coming in and cleaning, except this is how it would really go. She's a mess. She's just scrubbing and naked,
I'm so horny right now.
John is hard. There's probably been like 3 times that John's been like rock hard doing the podcast, and this is the 4th.
I am impossibly horny.
This is special.
It's one of the sexiest things I've ever seen in my life.
And she's just solo.
Yeah.
Imagine them being like, go. Just like action and dance around, clean this up, and be fucking hot. How aggressive does she get?
Like she doesn't like. I don't think she like spreads cheeks or anything like that. But she gets totally naked.
I love that you say that because that's so important. I mean, whenever the casting couch guy came up with that, now bend over and spread your cheeks. That was revolutionary. That changed the fucking world. What we're gonna do, Nick, is we're gonna tell the audience to press play at this exact moment. We're gonna go back, and everyone can watch along as we do this.
Yeah, I could put a time code.
Yeah, perfect. This chick is so hot.
I'm obsessed with this girl.
Into the shower we go.
God, I want to have sex with her so bad.
I still can't get over that this is on YouTube. The same video I'm watching right now. Landing strip.
She's a bush girl.
Full bush? Because there's landing strip.
She,
there.
I mean, not
now
in this
she has
video,
since
but
grown.
I don't even know if she's still in the game. But she, I became very fond of her. Let's say, I mean, honestly, I watched this music video the first time I lived in New York. So this is 10 years ago.
I mean, so a girl like this is on her grind, on her hustle, amateur porn star, probably rocking on OnlyFans.
No, she's not an amateur porn star.
Well,
She's
you know
like-
what I mean. At some point on the come up, doing this shit for real, and gets totally fucked over by someone like Bella Thorne.
Goddamn bitch.
Seriously. We had a good thing going with OnlyFans. And Bella just stole everybody's money. I mean, did they give you a total, like, did they say, like, how many $200 tips she got? She probably got, like,
I don't know the answer to that.
I mean, if she had thousands of people subscribing, if you
I
were,
think Nate blogged it.
if you're subscribing to Bella Thorne, you probably are already, and she's only posting, like, clothes pictures, you're probably already obsessed. You probably do the $200 tip. She probably got, like, hundreds of thousands of dollars in a single night. And For what? Probably even more than that. If she made $2 million just doing subscriptions, and then she all of a sudden charged $200 out of nowhere, she probably made a boatload. And you can't just post yourself naked without fucking over all the everyone else on OnlyFans. You goddamn bitch.
It does. No, it doesn't say. She sent everyone unlock for $200, and it went naked. Naked? Yes, naked. And someone replied, "How naked is the question for $200?" And she went, "No clothes naked," which isn't naked enough. Like
it's really not. It's really not. Like, think about it. You could be fully no clothes, and it's just like your back and your butt cheeks.
Right.
Like, again, unless you're spreading them, that's not worth it.
Well, that is worth it. I'm in, no matter what.
Bro, if I paid
But I'd
$200 and I saw
prefer-
someone back and butt cheeks, it's not worth it.
oh, back
You're a
in-
horny little boy if you think that's worth it.
I am a horny little boy. Bro, I am a horny. I'm a horny little boy.
Don't do that again. Never, ever do that again.
Oh, what's the matter, Kevin?
No, stop it, right, Nick? Jesus
Having a week.
Christ. I'm just gonna see what happens at the end of this music video here. You know, I just want to see. Yeah, I mean, she is. Oh, what was that? I mean, I'm just disappointed that we were just getting this thing off the ground, and Bella Thorne ended the fun before it even started. Fuck you, Bella Thorne. You know what she's got to do is got to make up for it now. I don't know how, but like.
I got a couple ideas.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I gotta close this laptop before I fucking come.
Oh, thank God I'm going on vacation. I need to reset. I need to just bring it back to get it back to neutral, man. Shit. Speaking of vacations, let's do our top fives this week. Top five brought to you by American Home Shield. It's gonna be top 5 places you went on vacation. Now, American Home Shield is very smart for, I believe, our generation. Because our generation is one that is, not very handy, not very good with plumbing and electrical work and around the house work. We also are so spoiled. We're so used to just, I rent an apartment, I call the super, you better fix this.
You know, I've never called a super
That doesn't surprise me.
in 4 years.
Because you just live in oh, that's broken, whatever.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
100% just
Yeah.
broken. When I was interviewing for my new apartment, the guy was talking about the supers, and he gave me the supers number and all kinds of stuff, and I was like, I'll be honest, in 4 years, my
Never gonna
last
get it.
apartment, I've never called a super, and he's like, well, that's pretty good.
It's
if
don't
you're-
get me wrong, I should have dozens of
yeah,
times.
but I just don't.
Yeah. But that's you.
That's me.
The rest of us of this generation, maybe not even the generation after us would be this is making a noise and this is a little off and this is a little whatever. Come fix it. Well, when you own a home, you can't do that. You're the super. And especially if you're the guy out there, fucking double standards are hey, honey, you should go fix this. It's I'm just as helpless as you are.
I have a podcast.
Right. I don't even know how to fucking hammer in a nail. Get out of here.
Even when growing up, so my dad doesn't know how to do stuff either.
Mm-hmm.
And growing up, our toolbox had
Bunch of stray nonsense.
I think there was a hammer.
Yeah.
And the rest was candy.
Yeah, I I can't tell you how many times I've opened up my drawer at home and it's I have 4 Phillips head screwdrivers and 4 flatheads and no Phillips head. I'm just what? How did I get 4 of these and none of the other? I don't even know how I got any of these to begin with.
Right.
I don't have any of these tools, and I don't know how to use any of them. So if anything gets broken when I have my house and shit would break, I'd be well. We're either fucked or I'm going to have to spend $1 zillion fixing this. And the kicker is you usually spend pretty much all your money getting your house. And then all of a sudden it's a starter home. So shit's going to be broken. And next thing you know, you're oh, wait a minute. I didn't realize I was going to have to buy a replacement fridge, or the boiler's broken and that's going to cost thousands of dollars. Well, it doesn't if you have American Home Shield. American Home Shield is basically an insurance plan that will take care of all your appliances and all of your systems in your house, so that if you're heating, electric, plumbing, any of your appliances get fucked up, American Home Shield slides in and fixes it for you. They either will fix it or cover the cost of the replacement. Because I remember, I had a Sub-Zero fridge. They just don't fucking make. I had a fridge that was from 1940.
Really?
It was huge. It was built into the wall, so it couldn't go anywhere. So I mean, it was enormous. And it was like from, it was like the first fridge ever made. And I was like, yeah, I have like a Sub-Zero, like, they were like, what was the model number? And I'm like looking, I'm like, 1? They're like, yeah, there's no one alive anymore that can fix that. So I was like, shit, I'm going to have to buy a new one. Well, fridges are very expensive. And if I had American Home Shield, they would either have fix it or replace it. Right now, you can get $50 off any plan when you go to AHS, that's American Home Shield abbreviated, ahs.com/KFC. Get $50 off your first plan, and then you get a 30-day workmanship guarantee, meaning that if someone comes and repairs it or replaces it within that first month, if there's anything wrong, they'll send a contractor back out for free. So once again, that's ahs.com/KFC, and you get $50 off any plan. That's American Home Shield. Be sure with the Shield. Top 5 vacations that we've been on.
Been on.
Go ahead, first pick. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go Prague. I'm gonna go Czech Republic.
I'll tell you why that's going to be huge for you, because you've been telling that World War II tidbit for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
It wasn't the actual
Only
trip.
city unaffected by bombing in World War II.
He's been telling you that ever since he's gone on the trip.
And I had a lot of fun. It was actually like one of the few places I've been. Like even as I was younger, I think I turned 16 there, and
You've been like, you were all around the world at like a young age.
yeah,
Because of what, hockey and boarding school?
like, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is a miracle you're not addicted to drugs.
Why?
Because that's just, I mean, you're like a white affluent kid from a boarding school. You played sports and traveled the world at a young age. You live in New York City. You like to drink. You don't sleep. You need to be up and at 'em. You're in the entertainment industry. I mean, you should be addicted to cocaine. It's crazy you're not. If it wasn't for your general apathy, I think you would be. Because I think you would have been like, I gotta like do this, or like, oh no, I have to make, I gotta do a bump right now. Instead, you'll be like, I don't know, whatever.
It's a good observation. The only thing keeping me away from drugs is my lack of caring about anything.
Pretty much. It really is. Thank God.
But
if it wasn't for your indifference, you'd be in the grave right now.
That was the two highlights. Well, there are a lot of highlights of that trip, but there are two I have the best of. One on my birthday, I was getting. I was like 15 or 16. I forget what age, but I was like kind of chubby, right?
Fat
and
little bitch.
Yeah, I had like puffy nipples. You've seen them.
Yeah.
And I had strippers. I had a lesbian
It's always
lap dance
stripper.
for my birthday, and two
That's the other thing.
strippers
You
were
nev-
licking
you don't
my
go to-
nipples in front of everybody.
You
And I
never
was
go to
like-
strip clubs now, but when you were a kid, you were getting raped by them all the time.
I was in strip clubs all the
All the
time
time.
from like 15 to 18.
Getting
I
your
like lived in
nipples
strip clubs.
licked
Licked.
at any age, but at the
Darling
age
Cabaret.
of like 15?
Oh god, it was wild.
Because that's one of those things too. Like, I think you're into this, aren't you? Aren't you
What?
into nipple play? Didn't we say this recently?
No,
I don't.
I'm not
nipples at all.
against it, but
Yeah, like I don't like
it's
it at
not
all.
like
If I was just like sitting here, if I was like hooking up and some girl was like sucking on my nipples, I'd be like looking at her like, "Are you done? Like either move down or come up. Like I don't need that, Come up for air or go down."
No, I'm into.
But at the
I'm
age of
into
15?
female nipple play. Like
Yeah, but
I wish,
even that.
I wish they could come.
Yeah, right. I mean, we know that. Yeah.
And then the other one was I forget who we played in the morning, but we played in the morning and we lost, and that like eventually essentially eliminated us
Is
from
that it? You pulled it up?
that Darling Cabaret. Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It like officially eliminated us from the next round or whatever.
Uh-huh.
But we had one more game that night, so like it was a worthless game.
Yeah.
So we all went out and got fucking shit faced at
Hell
lunch. And
Oh, so you played drunk?
yeah,
Yeah,
we were
not
all
even
drunk.
hungover, you were still
Dude,
shit-faced.
My buddy got drunk because he was the starting goalie. He was told he's like you're not playing tonight. Don't worry about it. You're good. So he got fucking drunk.
Yeah.
And we were playing Russia. We went down like 10-0, right? And like we were getting fucking run out of the building. And I think, when we went down 10-0, they were like, "Yo, you're in." And he was like, he was starting stretching, and he's like, "Bro, I'm gonna fucking puke everywhere." As he's like stretching, and then the game starts. Not the game starts. He gets in, and I ended up scoring to like make it like 13-1. And we were all so drunk, we celebrated like we won the Stanley Cup. And I went down the ice, looked down the ice at him, and I just pointed my stick and went, "Sniper!" And then like pumped it like a gun, and he fell and pretended he got shot. It was obscene. It was a bunch of drunk 15-year-olds.
I can't even imagine like your coach. The other coach must have just been like in Russian, like these American kids are drunk, huh? These kids are shit-faced, huh? Wow. All right, yeah, Prague. That's a good one. It's on the list. I don't blame you. I will go. I mean, I haven't done too much traveling, so this is going to be not many experiences, and probably all from recently. But Santorini is fucking.
Santorini's like the only one I've ever heard you talk about.
Heaven. That's the only one I've really ever gone on. It is heaven on earth. I'm actually going to split up one vacation into two, so I have more picks here. But Santorini is not real life. It's not real.
Why?
When you see
It's
it,
so beautiful.
it's like this is fake. Like this, if you were to design like a fucking hologram of a trip or like paint a picture or whatever, like when you see paintings or pictures of Santorini that are like the white like clay like rock dome buildings and the blue water and the blue sky, it's like that's exactly how it looks. Like when you see it in person, it looks exactly like that shit. And it's like in this like cove kind of. I don't know if it's like considered a bay or a cove or whatever, but it's like, I mean, it is.
Are we allowed to go
insane.
to any places right now? We're still not.
No,
right?
I don't think so. I don't think.
Americans are just
there
persona
are
non grata
places, but it's
everywhere?
not great.
Yeah.
It's like you can go to like Sierra Leone and fucking like a couple places in Mexico. And that's it. But Santorini, they also had. We went to like there's the black sand beach, the red sand beach, and the white sand beach, which are like those all look like somebody fucking painted the sand. I mean, it's like a joke. The only thing about Greece is like, you're just eating like, like Mediterranean food is good, but it's just like, I don't know. I can't eat like cucumber and tzatziki. Like, you know what I mean? It's just over and over and over again. But that place, man, there was one spot in Santorini that you could walk down these stairs. It's like built into the mountainside kind of. And I think it's legitimately like 1,000 steps. And I was like, I'm not doing that. Like, I don't care. Yeah, like it's pretty up here. I'm sure it's pretty down there, but I'm not gonna have to do 1,000 steps to get there. But I did this was on my honeymoon. We did like a wine tasting. There's like a spot in Santorini that's like the most furthest out like chunk of land, kind of overlooking that little like bay area or whatever. We had a table for two sitting alone where they served us like wine and food, and I was like, this is like if you were to die and go to heaven, this would be like it, you know. My actually our maid of honor, her father passed away, and he had a quote that said like, "I'm not afraid of dying because I've seen heaven on earth and it's Santorini." Like that's right where I'm going. So I mean, it is that like picturesque. It's fucking. I mean, I wasn't shit faced in Prague as a 15-year-old, but it was a pretty good trip.
All right, number 2, I'm gonna go with Salamanca. It's a Spain trip, but I will highlight one weekend. We went to. I honestly forget. I think it was Santiago. No, that's in Chile. I forget the name of the like there would be like weekend trips where you'd go like we were there for a month and you'd have like we did like a weekend trip to Lisbon, weekend trip to somewhere wherever we were. This one,
yep.
There were two things that happened that were wild. One was a bank we were in got evacuated so they could blow it up.
What?
ETA, I forget what ETA stands for, but it's like the terrorist organization from Basque Country. Okay. They like basically they plant bombs, and I honestly don't know if it ever blew up, but it was I think they did blow it up. I forget exactly, but what ETA does is they plant bombs and they say evacuate the building, and it's basically just then be like, look what we could have done. Like we could have killed everyone if we wanted to. Yeah. And that was wild. And then that night we were playing Kings I was probably like 16 this time. And we were playing Kings. It was me, my buddy, and 2 girls. And all the beers in Europe are like they keep them on shelves instead of in fridges. Yeah, so like they were all fucking warm. Yeah. So we're like having to chug beers in playing Kings and like puking as we're doing it. And then like
sip puke.
One of the bets was this is one of the hotter things that's happened in my life, to be totally honest. One of the bets was like I had to get totally naked. And I was allowed to have a hat on my dick. But to have a hat on your dick, you have to have a hard dick. And I'd never had sex or anything before. And
how old are you at this point?
I like probably 16, maybe.
Yeah.
I think I turned 17 on that. But I always went on vacation in the summer. It seems
Right.
And I was in the bathroom jerking off to get hard so I could hang a hat on my dick. and this girl,
I wish Ben Schwartz could hear these stories, by the way. Like, I just picture him being like, what?
and this girl was like,
mess.
I'll help you out. And she was just moaning through the door. And I was like,
That's doing it.
She's like, and I was like, you can come in.
And who was she?
She's a friend. She went to high school with me. It wasn't like a random Spanish girl.
God damn, girl. Yeah, that'll help.
That'll do it.
That'll fucking do it.
I was like, oh yeah, baby.
Your vacations are better than mine. A lot better than mine. Yeah, mine are like, these are nice places I like to go. Yours are like, these are wild sexual experiences that defined who I am as a person. The Amalfi Coast of Italy. Positano. I went there. I think that's when I started my first meal, second meal, third meal. I don't know if it's
Wait, you're what?
like I just eat whatever I want, whatever I want.
Yeah.
I mean, I was eating, I had wine and cheese for breakfast. I would go to a restaurant and be like, can I just get like a block of mozzarella and some red wine? And they're like, yeah, sure, here you go.
Yeah, obviously.
I was like, is that even
We
weird
don't have
for
anything
you?
else, actually.
Basically, yeah. It was just wine and cheese until I was like fat and drunk all the fucking time. But that's a place, Positano was just like, and Capri. Oh man, these fucking, I gotta go on vacation again, man. I gotta go. We went, my sister's planning her honeymoon. And so she asked me a lot about our honeymoon and I dug up the itinerary and,
Wow, that is
crazy.
a shocker.
Well, I just Google searched honeymoon and like,
In your Gmail?
yeah.
Yeah.
And it was in there. But I told her, I'm like, each of these spots, like we stayed in like an affordable hotel for like a couple nights, and then we would do like a splurge for a couple nights. So, then she looked at it and she was like, "Oh, these were the affordable hotels." We went from like a 4-star hotel to a 5-star hotel. I mean, it was like,
Well,
no
that's because
wonder
in
why I
Europe
liked-
too, though. They're like small, like Europe.
Yeah.
They don't like the big hotels like us. So like a fucking 3-star hotel is like a fucking
Right.
2-star hotel.
Yeah, it's a problem. Yeah. But I mean, I keep telling myself I got to go back to Santorini or Amalfi Coast, and it's like
You should meet a girl on Tinder and be like, for a date, do you want to go?
just go right now.
To Europe.
Just pick up and go.
Yeah.
Well, this is my point. It's not just going. It's like I need to go and spend like tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Because the version I know of it, like if I got back there and did it normal, I'd be like, this kind of sucks. I need the luxury at this point because that's how I remember it. So that's maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll just hop on Tinder and be like, I'm gonna go on Tinder for one day. I'm gonna go on a dating app for one day, and if you match with me, we're going to fucking Europe.
We did that once. Like,
Did you?
We didn't go Europe, obviously, but we were all like drinking, like guys and girls friends. We were basically back when I lived in Boston, and we were all drinking one morning or one afternoon, whatever it was, and we were like, let's all find a Tinder date and have like a big dinner together. And so like 8 of us found like 8 people on Tinder.
And you had dinner together.
And we all had dinner together. Yeah.
See, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was fun as hell.
Was it good?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was great. We went to, I forget
Were
where we
the
went in
were the Tinder
Southie.
dates like, what the fuck's going on?
They were a little
surprised.
surprised.
Well, especially at that point, I would imagine on Tinder, it's like we're gonna meet. I'm gonna go over. We're gonna fuck, and all of a sudden you're a part of like a family dinner.
I forget the name. We were at a Mexican restaurant in Southie. It was like, I think it's over on A Street. I
Honestly, if
forget
you're
exactly.
young and you're listening, do shit like that. That is like you can go on Tinder and you can just like meet someone and fuck. Sure, that's good. Whatever.
I don't know if everyone
that,
found one,
that's
but like
a story.
6 people came or something.
That's a
like that.
story
It
you
was
can tell
fun.
on a podcast one day.
yeah.
That's a story that people are gonna remember. That's a story that you could write a little like Netflix movie about that.
Yeah.
Called
Yeah,
like
you could.
8 people or something. Dinner for 8. Right? And it's like one of those movies like Crash or Traffic where everything intertwines. So like
Oh, I love this.
right? So
I'm
like
in.
you have your Tinder date, you're matching with her. She's texting you back on Tinder and she like walks out of the store and another person walks in and then the camera follows her instead. And everybody has a story and then they meet up and then you have to have some twist to it. It's like your Tinder date like murdered my Tinder date's mom or something like that. And then there's some drama, but Dinner for 8 on Netflix with the algorithm so you make it some corny romantic comedy with a twist.
Gold.
Write it down, Nick. That's
Absolute
another one of our
gold.
TV movies.
I wrote it down.
Yeah. What do you got?
Number 3, San Salvador, which
I don't even
was
know where that is. South
El
America?
Salvador. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the capital of El Salvador. It's fucking and like I kind of like it's a dangerous place. Obviously,
Is this the one you went to recently?
No, I went to Colombia there. But the same girl lives in San Salvador.
Yeah.
And so we had, let's see, the one story. Okay, so 2 stories here on this one. One, when I showed up, they had bought a new apartment for me.
What?
So it was me and like 2 buddies, and so like we
Bought an apartment for you?
I don't know if they bought. I mean, they bought it. We didn't stay in their house. We stayed in a different apartment because they ran out of beds or whatever.
Wait, I'm sorry. Wait, hang on. You
my friend's family.
Okay.
Who my friend is from there. She
Got
lives
it.
there.
Oh,
So
right,
we were
right,
going
right.
to
Got it,
visit
got it.
her.
Okay.
And they were like, "Oh no, we actually got you guys your own place." And we had our own apartment,
Wow.
which was like next door, which I fucking came home drunk and shattered the glass table. Like,
Did you like fall into it?
no, I was kind of doing like one of these, like to sit.
Oh
and it
no.
just, like,
Yeah, your fat ass can't
went-
sit on a glass
went
table.
right through. But then so they call San Salvador. I believe it's La Valle de las Hamacas, which is the Valley of the Volcanoes. And because there's tons of volcanoes there. And one night we went to a party at my friend's place
Okay.
where this dude's family had just bought a volcano. So they just bought a volcano. Like they owned the volcano. And it was theirs. And they had built a cabin on top of it.
Another movie. I mean, that's the biggest flex I've ever heard.
Like
I didn't know
insane.
you could do that.
I had no idea
I would
you
buy
could do that. I
if-
think
if-
Kanye did it recently, actually. I
I
think
was
Kanye
gonna say,
bought a mountain or
I
something.
hope that it's not like cliche. I'd imagine some other people have done it. If I get rich enough to do so, the first thing I'm doing.
Buy a volcano.
Like it's like, I'm gonna buy my mama a house. No. I'm gonna buy a fucking volcano. Did you get to like name it?
I don't
Probably,
know. I don't. I would imagine so.
Yeah.
But we're going up there, right? And this kid's family has obviously lots of money. And so we're going up in bulletproof cars with armed security.
Like G-Wagon?
With
Yeah.
fucking like AKs.
Yeah.
Because in the woods of the volcano, like the militia lived. So then we go up and we're like partying on like this like football field, like sized lawn out in front of their house. Like,
Okay.
Like
And at this point, you're like inside the volcano or something? Or
No,
on the mountainside, or
just on the mountainside.
Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
And
Not inside, but you know, like there's kind of like a. You're just on like the slope going up, right?
Yeah. And but like, we're pretty high, like, because there's no road or anything. It's like there's a dirt path, so like
Right.
we're going up, like it's like, and
Jesus.
in the pictures from that night, it's like me and like I went down with one buddy, and then there was another girl there who was friends with the girl who I was friends with, whatever. And there are pictures of us together, like drunk, like I would say I'm 17 this time, and in the background, like not shoulder to shoulder, 'cause there weren't that many of them, but like pretty closely spaced out were the armed guards. You can just see like guys standing there with AKs for. It's not militia. What's the word I'm looking for?
Guerrilla?
Guerrilla.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're just like in the trees, ready
Yeah.
to fucking snipe you. Yeah.
It was wild.
Yeah. You ever see the movie Captain Ron?
No.
It's like an old 80s movie. It's got Kurt Russell and Martin Short in it, but like they get gorilla and gorilla mixed up. And he's like, yeah, there's gorillas in the jungle. And he's like, oh, cool. We'll go see the gorillas. And they're fucking gorillas and they're fucking ready to kill you. That's wild that you did that.
Dude, insane.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know if I've told my parents
I
about
was gonna
that.
say,
Yeah.
I can't. I could imagine Polly being like, "You did fucking what? You're in the volcano jungles with gorillas, and you needed armed guards to keep you safe."
The kid told us fucking that night that like they had to fire one of the armed guards recently because he got shit faced and was just firing guns around and like destroyed their pools, like an in-ground pool that had like fucking riddled with bullet holes.
It reminds me of in Armageddon when Steve Buscemi gets space dementia.
Yeah.
That's not a thing. That's just made up. I thought that was like a thing that could happen, like you lose your mind in space. Michael Bay just straight up made that up so that Buscemi could start blowing things up. Fucking volcano dementia.
Dude, that reminds me of the clip, one of my favorite clips of all time of Affleck drunk doing the DVD extras for Armageddon.
Yeah.
And he's like, and I was asking Mike, I'm like, because he's like, so it's the scene when like Bruce Willis is like throwing shit out of the armadillo.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm telling Mike, I'm like, hey Mike, don't you think it would probably be easier for the miners to teach the astronauts how to mine rather than the astronauts to teach the miners how to astronaut? And he's like, shut up and just do the movie, Ben. And I'm like, it doesn't make any sense, Mike.
I love just calling him Mike, you know. Shut up, Ben. Okay, Mike. That's very funny. That movie is ridiculous.
Oh, it's so good. So good.
I'll go with Acapulco. Senior year, spring break. Senior year, junior year, sometime in college. I went on spring break. Went to Acapulco. El Abrije was the fucking club. It was like a stadium club, like stadium, like seating, whatever. Probably must have been, looking back on it, one of the last times DJ AM ever like performed.
Oh,
Just,
wow.
Like, I mean, I don't know if it was like literally, but it, you know, it had to be one of the last couple years of him being alive.
Yeah.
And I'm like so happy to check that off the list. I didn't even know. I mean, I knew he was, but I was kind of like,
I'm not very familiar.
yeah,
with him.
I mean,
he died
you know his
brain
name, you
cancer,
heard of him, right? But I thought like I'm not into like at that point the Blackout Tour stuff hadn't, you know. I was like I'm not into like techno. I'm into like rap and normal music and shit. And he fucking rocked this party. I just remember he did a Chili Peppers Snow, is it called? Hey-oh.
Yeah, I think so.
Blended with something else, and I was like, "Oh, wait a minute! This is not like house music. This is like fucking cool music." And he was like in the middle, and it was like, like I said, stadium like seating, and I was like, "This dude is a god." Like I can't even imagine that feeling of being like in the middle of all that. But I mean, we were so young, too young. But there was that, and then that was the night I went to Senior Frogs. And we were throwing chairs off the balcony for
Yeah.
no reason. That was the dumbest thing I've ever done. I was with my buddy Kyle from Cleveland, Ohio. Shout out to Kyle if you're listening. And we were at Senior Frogs, just like a chill night. And we're on this like outdoor.
It was decidedly not a chill night.
We decided to change that. We were on like a deck, not even like a balcony, but just like a deck that had a fence, like a wall, and then over it was just trees and like the abyss. I'm just sitting there just drinking, and I just watched him fold up a chair and just throw it over the side, and it just went like, and then nothing. So I was like, where did it go? Like, what did it do?
It just disappeared.
And I'm not like an idiot like that. Usually I don't like do vandalism. I don't like do dumb shit, but I was like, where did it go? We got to find out. Like, fold up another chair. So we just started throwing chairs off this balcony that we decidedly did not know where they were landing. For all we know, it could have just been like smashing Mexican babies down there. And then like naturally, someone from the fucking Senior Frog starts to see, and we see them kind of like whispering to like other people. And I was like, we got to get out of here right now. And we're like almost into a cab, and like they come and grab us and are like screaming at us in Spanish and yelling about chairs. And I was like, this is it. We're going to a Mexican prison or worse. And they are going to be 100% right. Like, we're not going to be like, we can't cry. Oh, like this is unfair. We were the assholes here. And I think I just went to an ATM and I took out like whatever the maximum I could was. And I was like, please let this be enough. And they, thank God, let us go. But
So you bribed cops?
I don't think it was the cops. I think it was like the
Security.
people at senior. Yeah. Because I think if the cops had come, I would have been like in tears. I would have been so scared. And I remember being like, "Well, we have one last line of defense here. Like we're still talking to just like employees of a place.
Right.
But even then, it's like I'm sure the owner of Senior Frogs is also like part of the cartel or something. You know what I mean? So I'm sure they almost were like, you know what I bet they're doing? I bet they like have a net down there and they pick up the chairs and bring them back up, and like this is how we rob white people. We wait for them to do stupid things and then we take their money. But other than that, I was happy that happened because I was like, oh, is that the same trip? No, I'll give you my next one in a minute. I got another good story about spring break.
Okay. I'll go 4. Breckenridge, Colorado. I don't really have a great story. It was just awesome ski weekend.
That's a place I know the name. And
It's
one of those
like
places.
it's like if
Tahoe or Vail or Aspen. Breckenridge I've heard of.
if you picture like a fucking ski town in a movie, it's Breckenridge. Like it's fucking just perfect. I don't have a story here. It
sounds like a great town for me to go to and not ski.
Yeah,
I'll just drink and hang out, do the hot
nightlife.
tub and the cabin and all that.
There was actually, I guess I do have a quick story. My dad used to go with his friends every year and like guys ski trips, and they still go on. They go to different places now.
Was this the one where they got the Hummers?
Yeah. And but there was one. So I went one year, and then the next year I was supposed to go, and I was supposed to go with like 4 of my buddies, and I had an appendectomy. Oh no!
This goddamn appendectomy.
Yes, I had an appendectomy.
What was Polly's line? Like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
Get the fuck back in the bed.
Let's go back to fucking sleep. so I'm in the hospital bed post surgery, and like we're supposed to leave like in like 3 days.
Right.
Supposed to like leave because it was my freshman year of college, so it was supposed to be like during Christmas break, and I had the appendectomy Christmas Eve. And so like we were probably supposed to go on like, I don't know, December 27th or whatever it was.
Right.
And so I call everyone and I'm like, yo,
I'm not gonna make it.
like, bro, I can't, I just had surgery. Like I can't ski. I can't do anything. So like I'm out on the trip. And there's this long pause. And my buddy goes, well, I mean, I can still go, right? And so they go. Like, my 3 best friends go, which was my dad and his friends. and
Awkward, but we're still going.
And there was one night where my buddy Graham, who you've met, they went out, they were drinking, and my buddy Pat came home, and he was like shit-faced, and he's like, couldn't find Graham. And so he's like standing out in the back porch going, Graham! Like yelling into the woods. And my dad thinks it's a wolf. And and so he comes out and he's like, Pat, the fuck are you yelling about? He's like, Mr. Fights, I don't, we lost Graham. I don't know where he is. So my dad's like, son of a fucking bitch. Are you kidding me? Like, I got these 3 kids.
I'm
their parents
responsible for
trusted
them.
me.
Yeah,
like, I'm
yeah.
in charge of them.
Yeah.
So they all get in their Hummers and all the dads go out looking for him. And Graham's just drinking a beer, sledding with some kids at like 11 p.m. or midnight, whatever time it was.
In the very little I know Graham, I'm like, yeah, checks out. Checks out.
He's like, he didn't even understand why everyone's worked
Yeah,
up.
he's like, I'm just sledding.
He's like, I'm just like, what are
Yeah.
you talking about? I'm
Yeah.
just having a tall boy and I'm sledding. I'm good. Don't worry about me.
I'm living,
Yeah.
man. My number 4, I went to the Bahamas for another spring break. Nassau, I guess, like not Atlantis, like we went like just grimy. Oh, Radisson specifically, I know that because we were rolling our weed in the little like notepad that came.
yeah.
So we would always be like, you want to, and they were obviously terrible, falling apart, can't really smoke it. But we were like, you want to smoke a ratty? You want to smoke a Radisson? But we went. It was our senior year of high school, and we went with everybody's parents were like, there needs to be some parents,
Right.
And there was one kid set of parents who like just didn't give a fuck, and we're like, yep. We're going with Mr. or Mrs. Yep, they're going to take us. And I think my parents, like, the other parents didn't know. We were like, yeah, we'll take those parents. Yeah. They're like, oh, good, there's some chaperones. I'm like, yeah, we're going to be chaperoning them. But that was another, my crew of guys went, and we went with another crew of girls that we were all, like, friend-zoned with, but we all, like, thought they were hot and liked them, so we were happy to do it. And there was like 3 incidents. One night we just, I didn't partake, but they were having fire extinguisher fights. Fire alarm goes off. Fucking hotel evacuated. Like asshole shit that, again, now at like 35, if I saw some goddamn 18-year-olds playing with fire extinguishers, making like me and my kids evacuate, I would chop their fucking heads off.
Dude, we were talking about that the other day with like hockey tournaments, because like when you go away to hockey tournaments and stay in hotels, you'd always play knee hockey in the hallways,
just
right?
loud and
like
obnoxious
just
and
slamming
annoying.
off doors and walls and shit. And like when people came out, they'd be like, "What's this fucking old guy's problem?" Like,
Yeah.
I would strangle a 7-year-old.
Absolutely.
if
You're
playing
the
knee
one
hockey,
playing.
though.
You're banging on my doors, you assholes. One night though, we stole like at the pool. There was like a life preserver thing that was probably more for like a boat, where it had like a ring and like a rope. You know what I mean? So we put it like around my buddy's body, and we go and we like tie it to the legs of the bed, like over the balcony into the hotel room, around the legs of the bed. And his idea was that he was going to rappel off we were on the 2nd floor, but that's like still like pretty high. So, but we thought we were doing it smart. We're like, all right, we'll anchor it to the bed and you can rappel down. And then I think we had the like the room below or whatever. So, but we thought we did it all right. My buddy, he's got it on him, and he's like, ready, like 3, 2, 1, and he rappels off. We just gave him way too much slack. Like, we tied it, we did it right. There was just like 100 feet worth of rope for a 20-foot fall. And he just, boom, like a fucking sack of potatoes, just smashed into like there was like patio furniture on the floor below, and he like popped up like on adrenaline, and we were like, run! And everybody scatters, and he just had the biggest bruise, and he had like rope burns. And like it was like night one of the trip, and the rest of the trip he would just put his hands in ice water bowls, just blisters everywhere. And I remember him; he was so shit faced, but you know, like how you sober up for those things. And I could see him looking at his hands, and he was in pain, but he was more just so mad at himself for doing something so stupid, and he was just like, my trip's ruined. My trip is ruined. And I was like, yeah, it is. And of course, I would never do that, but I was the one egging him on. Like, this is going to be so awesome. And I was like, yeah, I ruined your trip too. And then the last incident was all the girls that were there with us. You know, we were like going out to dinner, and we were doing like body shots off them. We were just doing like anything we could to like potentially break out of the friend zone. And there was this other crew from Westchester. It must have just been like a lot of people from like my towns and neighboring towns went there on spring break. And there was a kid there who killed someone. I think he was like drunk driving or something like that. He was like a spoiled like Westchester kid.
He had already killed someone at this point, or went on?
Yeah, no. He had killed someone.
Jesus Christ.
And we like heard the story, and he was like tall and good looking, and the girls were like fawning over him, and we were like, he's a murderer, girls. And they were calling him Killer.
No.
They were like fighting over who gets to hook up with Killer. I was like, this ain't right, man. I remember thinking like, how more in the friend zone can I be that they're picking murderers over me? Like, hey, do you want to just like hook up with me or that guy who's taken another life? And they were like, peace. It's like, God, the bad boy angle really works, huh? It really, really does. Fucking the Bahamas, man. Last pick, right?
5. I'm gonna go with 5. I'll go Barcelona.
Okay.
Barcelona is such a cool town that I was like 14 when I was there, and like was with my grandfather, and like wasn't drinking or partying or anything like that. And still, I still remember it incredibly fondly. Do you know how awesome somewhere has to be that if I was sober and I'm like, that was a blast?
You know how hard it is for me to enjoy things sober? Yeah.
It's like, I can't wait to go back some point just because like it'd be a lot more fun drinking.
Right.
But it was just like such a fucking beautiful, cool ass town.
Well, that would be my last pick is a childhood sober favorite. Long Beach Island, Beach Haven, Fantasy Island Arcade, Barry's Ice Cream Shop, riding bikes, going to the beach, boogie boarding, all that shit. It was like the last time I really had fun before like I got to get drunk, I got to chase chicks, before like all the adult things ruined it. It was the last time it was just like, I got a new boogie board, I got a cool bike, I won a bunch of tickets at the arcade. We're gonna go on the bumper cars, and I fucking love that.
That's sick.
When you lose that innocence, that sucks. Because that shit's awesome and it's available. Like you can do it,
go do it
all the time. Once you're like, I mean,
a
have to
good
get
boogie,
drunk.
I'll still get down with it.
Yeah, that kind of shit. There's some things that still play, but like an arcade or like a carnival or like whatever. There was water slides there, putt. You can still do that shit, but there's a time where like
carnival,
mini golf.
I'm happy I'm out on.
You don't like carnivals? Yeah.
I'm just
Trips and rides and shit like that.
It's just insane that we used to do that. Like there was this thing from where I'm from called Fall River Celebrates America, and like they would just set up this fucking
traveling carnival
in a parking lot in a night.
Yeah,
and then and then I
that's
would
gonna
go
be a
ride
death trap.
the fucking rides.
Yeah,
like that was insane.
Yeah,
it's crazy to think back.
And those are always like the hardcore rides.
Yeah,
these go extra fast. They go upside down. They're and some fucking meth head probably forgot this screw.
Yeah.
I mean, you know how many times like you put something together and you're like, well, we got extra pieces, but like whatever, it's fine.
Dude, I'd rather be homeless than work at a traveling carnival. So like think
No
how
liability.
rock bottom you have to be like, all right, fine, I'll do this. Like those fucking
pack
things
it up.
where
I mean,
just,
well,
like,
by the way, you kind of did
what?
Work for a traveling carnival.
Yeah. and you shouldn't fucking think you're gonna be safe there.
Right.
Because I don't fucking dude, I remember I would just be like
Good
I'd be, like,
enough.
guarding the stage. I'm like, fucking go. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Fuck do I care?
I don't own this. This means nothing to me.
You want to destroy this wall? Do it. I don't give a shit.
You ever go back like when you were a little bit older and you tried to do those things that like you ever go to like a childhood spot? Like I remember going back to Beach Haven and being like, let's go mini golfing. And mini golf, you can always have some fun. But I mean, there used to be like ones you would go like under a waterfall or inside a cave for this hole. And I remember thinking they were like the coolest thing. Or I would go on these water slides that used to be like the biggest, coolest thing to me. And instead they were just kind of like a slow meandering thing. And I was just like, fuck, I don't like it. Like this isn't doing it anymore.
I'm not having fun.
Yeah, I need to be drunk or like having an orgasm. Fuck. That sucks. The minute you realize that you need substances or cum in order to be happy, your life's fucking over, man. So let us know. Get at us on Twitter. What are your top 5 vacation spots of all time? And now we're going to get into our voicemails. Plus, we got an interview coming up with Ellin and Kevin Dillon talking about Entourage, which is pretty eye-opening. There's some shit in there that I think if you're an Entourage fan, you're going to really like. But first, voicemails. They're brought to you by Cross Rope. If you want to get in shape.
Oh, shit. We back in the crossroad?
Yeah, baby. Whatever.
Someone just tweeted at us, like, what is that jump rope you use?
Yo, it's it's amazing.
Are you back on it? You know, you're doing it at home. Are you doing it at home now? You should do it with your new apartment. Like
new
start,
apartment, yes.
Start.
New
Eat corn
apartment.
and bistro burgers.
There's a park
and
right by. Like,
no, you're gonna be a park worker outer.
Well, it's right by Corner Bistro. So I'm like a block from, 2 blocks from Corner Bistro, and in the 1 block in between is a park.
I can't underestimate. I gotta stress like how good that is.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna go to Corner Bistro all the time.
All the time.
All the fucking
All
time.
the time.
We could have just gone anyway.
Also,
but
by
now
the way,
it's
we
like,
have an extra bedroom, so you can whenever you want to cry. We're gonna have a bed in it. We're gonna
burgers and Johnny's bed. Let's do it. Yeah. So John's gonna start with his new apartment. You should start with like September 1st or after Labor Day, or if you have a new apartment or you have a new thing, start it off with Crossrope. Don't wait for the new year. Don't wait for New Year's resolutions. Just do it for whatever is new in your life right now. You can't go to the gyms. De Blasio won't open them here in New York.
fucking De Blasio.
Nobody likes that guy. He's unbelievable. He's like literally the only politician in the world who nobody, like no sides.
Single person.
He tried to run for president.
I forgot.
Remember? Yeah. Like we all laughed at Bloomberg, but like Bloomberg's run was infinitely better than De Blasio's was, motherfucker.
I forgot.
So,
about that.
And you know everyone's getting on these
You fat fucking idiot.
$3,000 bikes and these fucking $5,000 screens you put on the
Mirrors
wall,
and shit
mirrors
like
and
that.
tonals, all that shit.
It's like
Just get a jump rope.
2 and change.
Done.
And like it's basically 1 month at a gym, and you have fucking workouts
Forever.
Forever.
And you got the different weights. You can do the light rope and do it fast. You can do the heavy rope and do weightlifting. It comes with a full body workout schedule where you're going to be doing cardio. You're also going to be doing weight resistance. Everything you need gets delivered right to your home in an easy pack with handles and ropes and a whole routine for you to get the results that you desire. Go to crossrope.com/KFC. Crossrope.com/KFC. Get $40 off your cross rope set plus free shipping when you check out. Get a 60-day risk-free trial. You can try it for 2 months. If you don't like it, you can go. You can do the Get Lean. You can do the Get Strong. You could do Best of Both Worlds and do the Get Fit bundle, and you get all of it. Download the app along with your ropes and just enjoy the results. It's crossrope.com/KFC. Get $40 off, free shipping. Download the app and get in shape today.
What's up, KFC Bites? First time, long time. Just got a quick "Am I the Asshole" for you. A little background. I just recently turned 20. My girlfriend's 19. I work a manual labor job. I get to work at 6 in the morning, and I'm usually not home until around 6 o'clock, 7 at night. So I'm pretty tired when I get home. Well, my girlfriend, she's in college. College is pretty close to where we grew up at. So she still lives with her parents, but they're very strict. So she has to be home by midnight. So by the time I get home, she comes over. We get something to eat, watch a little TV. One thing leads to another. We have sex. And most of the time when we're done, I roll over and I go to fuck sleep because I'm fucking tired. I wake up to her throwing her stuff around, getting together, and she looks at me and goes, "Well, you got what you wanted. I'm going to fuck home. Fuck you." And hasn't talked to me all day since. I guess she's still mad at me. Do I have to apologize for that? I mean, I rolled over and went to sleep. Like, I didn't intentionally blow her off. Do I apologize? Am I the asshole? Am I not the asshole?
So wait, he gets home
what's up?
and goes to sleep, or
No, he got home. They had
Right,
dinner,
right,
watched TV, had sex.
and then he goes to sleep.
Yeah, had a night. I think that's some young girl shit, though.
Yeah.
I think
19
as-
and 20, you're going to run into some problems where it's like, it's going to be stupid shit.
as women and men age, you start realizing that just some things happen and it's not that big a deal. And I think falling asleep after sex is one of the more common ones.
I mean, it's like a bear with a tranquilizer dart, girls.
Like
We're
how
just going
I'm
for it.
actually not like that. I don't fall asleep very quickly, but I understand that many people do.
Yeah. Well, also, I don't even necessarily think it's sex. I think it's like this dude gets up at 5. He works a 12-hour shift. You're lucky you even got dinner and sex and all that shit. Seriously. I mean, but again, 20 and 19, you're going to have some like weird, unrealistic expectations or thoughts on how things are going to go. And, I mean, that's extreme. I was going to say, like, just be like, hey, sorry. But, like, I mean, I really don't think this guy has anything to apologize at all, period.
I mean, like, throw out the sorry.
Yeah, just this is your lesson. This is like one of the first times you're going to be apologizing for something you don't have to apologize for. And there'll be many to come. But this one is particularly like I would be an asshole and be like, all right, listen, babe, I'm sorry. Even though I don't have to apologize for anything.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, this one is really extreme. If you had dinner plans and date plans and you just fell asleep after dinner, after work, I think you can be like, oh, like, I'm sorry. But even then, it's like you didn't do anything wrong.
No, you fell asleep because you're exhausted.
Yeah, like your body is not allowing it. It's like, would you rather me be like at the dinner table at our special date, me like falling asleep in my fucking food? But you should dump this girl.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think you have to dump her.
Yeah, you do.
Because it is some just young, like, it's just some young person shit just getting mad about something that fucking doesn't fucking matter.
And by the way, that'll last. It's some young person shit, but that can last like 20 years.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You might find like a 38-year-old girl who's doing the same shit. Just happens. But that one, you can rest assured you did not do anything wrong, bro.
KFC fights BC Nick. I got a question for you. I've got a friend she also listens to the show, so if this makes it, she will probably hear this. But she texted me, so for reference, I'm 26, she's 27, so I know a little bit younger than you guys. She asked me if I'm interested in her friend. She sent me a picture, great. But she throws in there that this girl is a virgin. This girl is also 26. Like, I should not go down that road, right? Like, I've heard the horror stories before. I've kind of had a fair share with a girl who didn't have much experience. Like, it did not end well. And I just, like, this is a problem, right? I mean, I understand you guys are a little bit older, but, like, put yourself in my shoes or, like, when you were that age. Am I overthinking this, or is this really a no-go? Like, it's going to be more bad news.
I don't think you're overthinking this at all. I think this is worth thinking about, and I think I would avoid this.
I would think so too. Like, people who are turned on by it are fucking psychopaths.
No, those people I think legit have like issues.
Yeah, like
if you're into that, we saw that some actor like was texting somebody like DMing them like, so I'm gonna break you in, or like, so it's gonna hurt.
Yeah, it was Dalia.
Was it Dalia?
Yeah,
Ugh, that's fucking bad.
Yeah, there's an
bad.
issue.
Like if you like,
you're like
if
one
I, like,
step above being a pedophile. Like,
right.
You're just like, you just want to take virginity.
If I like fell in love with a girl and then found out she was a virgin, I don't know how that could possibly be, but if that happened, different story. To start out though, I think I'd be like, that, especially if you are like not looking for something serious or whatever, like that girl is going to take it seriously with you. You're going to mean something more than the average person.
If you're worthy, so to speak. Like, if you end up having sex with this girl, I mean, they have to marry her.
That's what I mean. It's like,
I don't know.
So much pressure. Them's the rules.
It's
them's the rules.
What do you think the oldest person
to ever lose their virginity?
What do you think before it's like a thing?
I think you can be 22.
I was talking to a friend the other day who has a 31-year-old friend who is hot. And like, it's not like some like gross person who can't have sex. Like,
yeah,
a very attractive person. I've never seen her, but as she's described as being very attractive. 31, and it's not like saving yourself marriage or anything. She's just like
it just hasn't happened.
It didn't happen.
Nah, that's crazy.
That's insane, right? There's like
that means it's like we, as soon as he's about to do it, like I murder him. I'm Black Widow. Like there's something going on. I think if you're attractive, because if you're gross, you could go on like your whole life. You know what I mean? If the only thing stopping you is like you. I think the 22 is the cutoff.
I think
if I heard 23-year-old virgin, that means you're out of college and stuff. I think that would weird me out.
I think you're spot on.
22 is like you could still be in college and be a virgin and whatever. I think you're post college, 23 years old. It's just been a choice you've made many, many times to not do it. It's weird.
Yeah, there's like you have some weird hangups about it.
Yeah.
And like I'm not interested in those.
Exactly. And whatever it is, you've built it up to something that I cannot deliver, So forget about like the real issues. This is just like, you think this is going to be way better than it is.
Right. I can give you
I
a
just
fucking
don't get it.
I give you like a you think you're getting like some big fancy dinner, and I give you
like bologna.
I give you $1 pizza.
Yeah, you're getting Lunchable.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't, I do not understand it. If you're religious and all that, fine. If you really think that it's something you should only share with someone that you love, all right, fine. If you're not crazy about like, if you're just like a, it just hasn't happened for me. Like, well, why not?
What? Yeah.
Like, why not just try it?
You can go throw that thing around wherever you want.
There's no down. It's not like doing drugs where it's like, oh, I don't do drugs because like, yeah, it's bad for you. Or like, there's no hangover from it. There's no. I mean, I guess you could be like, I don't want to. Yeah, you could be terrified of STDs and pregnancy, but like, they make things to get around that. Just try it.
like
That to me is like, I've never watched TV. It's like, you're missing out on a huge part of life. Huge part.
It's and like to be like. It's really easy to have sex.
So easy.
Like for guys and girls, it's like
you can
for
just
girls
do
in
it,
particular, but
and then
guys
it's over
too.
in an average of like 3.5 minutes, and then that's it.
It's pretty easy to just meet someone and have sex with them.
Yeah.
It gets built up and like, oh, okay, girls. So like, I'm not trying to pretend like I'm a ladies' man here, but it's fucking.
You can do it. I mean, you gotta have certain standards. Like, yeah, you can't fuck like a model, but you can go find somebody who will let you do it.
Like you can't fucking Christina Rose, but
well, maybe.
Well, yeah, Brandon. I'm gonna see if she's on Twitter.
Last voicemail is brought to you by Miller Lite. Miller Lite. You're going to kick back and share some stories, create some voicemails, create some memories that one day you could call KFC Radio and tell us about. Do it drinking some Miller Lite. You're going to listen to this segment right now. Crack open a Miller Lite. You want to go on a date with someone you're in the friend zone with. Maybe they're picking a murderer over you, and you need to numb the pain. Drink a Miller Lite. Maybe you need to physically numb the pain because you jumped off a balcony and you have rope burns on your hands. Miller Lite will help with that as well. And if you are past the age of riding bikes and water slides giving you a sense of fun, you can always crack open a 6-pack of Miller Lite. It's the #1 beer, great taste, less filling. And the best part is it's 96 calories and only 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. Celebrate responsibly from the Miller Brewing Company, brewed in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories, 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. And right now, a lot of places you can't go out, you can't sit at the restaurant or in the bar, so you got to get it delivered to home. And in order to find out all the delivery options, go to MillerLite.com/KFC. They'll have all the delivery options near you. You get it sent right to your house. So whether you're watching the games or Friday Night Pints, whatever it is, kick back with some Miller Lite delivered right to your door. It's MillerLite.com/KFC.
What's up, KFC Fight Super Producer BC? So I got a question here. Do you think you've ever been the first person in the world to do any particular thing? And if so, what was it? Also, follow-up question, what would it be the coolest thing to know definitively that you were the first person to do? Like I got this thought when I was heating up my pasta, and I set it to a random time, and I was like, I bet no one's ever heated it up at this fucking time before. And my friend was like, I bet probably someone has. And I was like, yep, you're probably right. Anyways, what do you guys think?
Have you ever done something that no one else in the world has done?
Fuck no. What could I possibly have done?
I bet you we've done something blog related.
Do you think so?
I bet you we've done something at Barstool that we're the only people
I guess
to do
so,
it.
you're right,
You know,
probably.
like I don't know, like when I was on like Comedy Central, we were like the only. I mean, you got to get very specific with it. Like we're the only like bloggers to have.
Maybe I'm the only person who's ever trolled ISIS. Or ISIS got a Twitter account, and I blogged like a blog series, just like respond to their fucking tweets, like "fuck you, bitches," or whatever. I was very nervous at that time. That ISIS was
I
gonna
bet
kill me.
I would not fuck with that one.
actually wasn't
ISIS
even
and anonymous. I don't fuck with them.
I wasn't nervous they were gonna kill me. I was nervous they were gonna fuck up names and kill my dad.
I mean, I could say I'm pretty sure I'm the only person at Deloitte and Touche to ever have like a secret blog job.
Yeah.
You know, to an extent, like there are probably Deloitte people who had like secret hobbies, but like I'm the only one who got like however many readers we were getting or something like that.
That's a good one. I would bet I'm.
It's all got to be Barstool related because like we're the only company to like do what we do.
Yeah.
So you can get pretty specific with it, but like, you know, you're the only like blogger to do Saturdays for the boys. Or whatever. You made Tinder a thing.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
You invented the most popular, prolific for a period of time pickup line of all time.
Oh, how many push-ups can you do? I forgot about that.
You invented the greatest pickup line of all time,
I totally forgot about that.
which is crazy because you know you like Tinder owes you like $1 billion.
Remember when Tinder was like they were in like a New York Times article or something like that, or a New York Magazine or whatever, and they're like, yeah, we don't understand it. We're just like insanely
Huge in
popular
New England.
New England. And I was like, I know why, you motherfuckers. It's cause of me.
You had the
Tinder, where my money at?
seriously.
Run me my money, Tinder.
Yeah, run them pockets. That's why it was easy for you to fuck. You were just coming up with those pickup lines. Bro.
How many push-ups can you do? And girls were furious.
When someone would say
It
it,
was just like
God damn it, I'm trying to find love here.
it was like all guys do on Tinder would ask me how many push-ups I can do.
Love it.
It's a great pickup line.
It is. I mean, it worked for a reason. I bet you could bring that back now. It's been long enough.
I'm gonna try that right now.
Yeah, do it. Maybe not on, like it depends on the age group, but like if you do it like with like young 20 somethings now, they're not gonna know that or remember that. Just run it back every like 7 years.
Yeah.
Keep doing it.
Everyone on Tinder right now, go do it.
Yeah.
DM
somebody. How many push-ups can you do? And I
do?
guarantee it'll get you a response and open up a conversation. It worked every single time.
Guys were like, "This is crazy."
Yeah.
It's like every time it was golden. I don't know. I remember Dave did a blog talking about how dumb it was, and then it like really
blew up.
Everyone's like, "Wait, it's actually really working a lot."
That was like the prime example. There was pretty much a few years where just like everything you said and did, Dave thought was stupid, and then eventually wore that and said that and did that.
Yeah.
Like all the things he didn't think were good. He was like ready to cash the Saturdays for the boys' checks. Now he's sliding in DMs saying dumb things, and he's wearing skinny jeans. Like everything you trashed, Dave. Everything you said was stupid.
Saturdays for the boys. That was hard to get Dave to make T-shirts for that. He was
Which
like, "I
is-
don't get it." I'm like, "I don't
Zillion
get it either,
beers,
man."
too.
Yeah,
Zillion beers. He was Zillion beers. He'll tell you him challenging Dana is what made it big.
For sure.
But he was challenging it because he thought it was gonna fail.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? Like he did that not out of like some secret way to motivate. He was just like, this is not a good idea. It's not gonna work. But if it does, hey, whatever. And it fucking did. All right, let's get into this interview. Doug Ellin, Kevin Dillon. You know him as the creator of Entourage and Drama. They have a new podcast out called Victory where they're going episode by episode and season by season breaking down Entourage. And we got to talk to Doug all about the writing process and Kevin talking about what it was like being on the set, including what Doug originally planned to do as a finale for Entourage. How he was going to end the series out of spite, basically, is awesome. And I'll say this about this interview. I said this to John afterwards. I think there's a difference in East Coast guys in this world. When I talk to Doug, he's like a New York guy, and every time I talk to like, you can be in Hollywood, but if you're from New York, I just feel like you're a different dude. It's just like a different vibe as opposed to like the guys who live out there their whole lives or the people from some of these.
You're
like,
saying even with Joe Manganiello, where it's
Yeah.
like you're a Pittsburgh bro, like you're
you can
you're
tell,
cool dude.
kind of
you're-
like salt of the earth shit. Kevin Connolly's like an Islanders fan. Like these guys are just like normal dudes who made it big, but like you can still tell in the way they talk and act that they are East Coast guys. So let's talk a little Entourage here on KFC Radio. It's brought to you by Tommy John. Tommy John has done it all, man. They started with the revolutionary underwear, and now they've got everything. For the girls, they've got bras and thongs that are breathable and
Still haven't
soft.
got my thong.
I know. Come on, man. Come on, Tommy John. Send me some
I
extra,
actually found
extra,
a pair
extra
of Tommy
large.
Johns the other day.
Yeah.
which were like I hadn't found them in a while.
So
Unbelievable! What a day!
Although I will say
what
this.
a day when I wore them.
Tommy John, if you are going to be sending over any more free stuff, your boy is now an XL. I signed up a long time ago for free stuff as a L, as a large. I don't
You're
fit-
an XL,
I got a fat ass, dude.
dude. Like if you really, I've never really noticed it, but you have to because
Yeah.
like
I can't stuff my ass into like
I can wear a small.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy because you're one of those guys that just has like, your back just goes into your ass, into your thighs. I have like a fucking donk on there. So XL for your boy Tommy John. Everything's made from cool cotton, which is premium natural Pima cotton with enhanced airflow. It evaporates sweat super fast. It keeps you dry. It keeps you cool. Better than regular cotton. They've got the thongs and bras for the girls. They got the boxer briefs for the guys. They've got t-shirts and lounge pants. They've even got tees and polos polos if you want to hit the golf course. Or let's say you're still doing Zoom meetings, you can put on like a Tommy John polo that looks like it's work ready, but it feels like it's just like almost like loungewear. So everything you need for whether you're out, whether you're home, whether you're trying to impress, whether you're trying to be comfortable. Right now with the underwear, they have the best pair you'll ever wear, or it's free guarantee. If you buy some boxers and you don't like them, you can send them back and get your money back. You can keep them and get your money back. And for a limited time right now, you can get 20% off your first order when you go to TommyJohn.com/KFC. They make a pair of pajama pants. This takes a lot for me to say because I make my own pajama pants. So this is a direct competitor, but they make a pair of pajama pants that are probably the most comfortable thing I've ever worn.
Really?
Yeah, they have a pair. It looks exactly like the boxers. The other day I was wearing the boxers and the pants, and I was like, it was like Inception. I was like, wait a minute, these are pants, these are boxers. It's like identical pair, but they got pockets in them, which I like. They're like long, flowy, floppy, soft. They're great. So I recommend the pants. Get the boxers as well. Go to TommyJohn.com/KFC to get 20% off your first order.
Fellas, how the fuck we doing?
We're doing fucking good, man.
I did hit that fuck too hard. Like that was like my first time ever saying the F word.
What's cooking, man? Where are you guys right now?
We're in LA. Where are you guys?
We're in New York. We're back in our studios, but you look like you're in some sort of weird studio. But all right, let's do this.
Kevin Connolly's studio. We got
Spicoli back there. That's a piece of art right there. I love it.
Called Action Park.
So is the T-shirt there. Oh, so wait, the Action Park Network, is that about? Is that in reference to like the Death Trap Action Park from back in the day?
Yeah.
I mean,
Like New Jersey.
it is. If you know Action Park, I'm a New York guy. Like it's a niche thing, but if you're from that era and you're from that region, Action Park, like that's like the code word. If you guys say Action Park to me, I'm like, all right, you're good people. You know what's up.
There's a lot of good stuff in
It's
that.
awesome.
Actually, the Wolf of Wall Street likes to talk about getting a hand job in the Action Park pools. So
I'm surprised
In
there's
the
only.
pool?
Listen,
Who's getting tugged off in pools?
honestly, that surprises
The
me.
Wolf of Wall Street is. Yeah, we did it on a podcast with Connolly.
There's kids in that pool.
I can't believe it was just a hand job. That's how crazy Action Park was. Hand jobs were like par for the course.
There's a lot worse going on at Action Park.
Dude,
than
there were
that.
5 deaths, okay? Hand jobs ain't shit, okay? This place is amazing.
I'd rather
I've
die
done-
than swim in a cum
By the
pool.
way, you're younger than us, but like we were never even concerned about it. People used to come back broken arms all the time, but we were always like, let's go.
Let's do it. It was like the Westworld of amusement parks. Like it had loops. It had like roller coasters where like it was just fucking crazy. Where you had control of like how fast you were gonna go and where you were gonna land, and people would just break their bones all the time. It was amazing. It was great.
There's a documentary. There's a documentary about it.
Yep.
that you can. That's just fucking crazy.
It's really
Well, the
unbelievable.
version out here is Magic Mountain, so it's very
No,
similar.
no, no.
It's got
No,
no.
No, not like that. Not like that, Kevin. No.
Action Park was lawlessness. They were like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you hurt too bad." Like there was
Yeah.
nothing. Now you sue them for $100 million.
Right. I mean, it's good old fashioned nostalgia, which I feel like at this point, Entourage has a ton of, which is weird to me because I feel like it was just yesterday that I was watching it, but I guess at this point we're kind of in the nostalgia phase, especially if you guys are doing a podcast about it. It's time to like recall it and remember it. Is that weird for you?
Yeah.
No, I love it.
Okay.
No,
Try
I
and get
mean, it's awesome, but is it weird?
The reboot. Welcome into the reboot.
No, he's like, fuck that.
To be honest with you, it really is. And you guys are younger. Like I was watching I'm watching episodes because we got to do it for the podcast. And I'm like, I don't even remember this stuff anymore. So it's weird how quickly it goes.
Mm-hmm.
And, it is nostalgia. And it's weird because all of my, I actually have one of my best friends. I'll give him a shout out. Larry Ellsman's daughter is here. Like the kids are watching it now. So I have my friends calling me that they're, 15 to 20-year-old kids are starting to find
Thanks
it now.
to
So it's
Corona,
weird.
the
Yeah.
kids are now watching.
But I mean, that is kind of a thing. We talked to Brian Bumgarner from The Office, they're doing something similar with a podcast about the show. And he said when Corona hit that, like the number one show that the young kids who weren't alive for The Office were going back to was that show. So I feel like, it makes sense that you're going to reach a whole new generation now when they're watching more than they ever have before.
Well, it's interesting with The Office because Netflix just blew The Office up bigger than it was when it was on TV.
Right.
That's what he was saying, which was crazy. He's like, for 4 seasons, we thought we were getting canceled every year. Did you
Every
guys
year.
ever have that? Like, did you guys know, right? Like, we're a monster hit. We're good.
I did.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I told all the guys, all the other actors, that this show's gonna be a huge hit from the pilot.
No
I said,
shit.
Then we got picked up, and then they were worried, are we going to get another season? I said, absolutely. The show's-
What was it like? Was there a single moment or something specific that you knew, or just like the vibe?
Yeah, but I've done failed pilots before, so I knew that this has got so much more to, that seems like it could go on and on and on, and it's so clever and fun, and the characters are so interesting. I just felt like it had legs.
And by the way, that's what the drinking Irish guy says. I'm the neurotic Jew. I honestly thought we were getting canceled every single day. I was like, when we got nominated for Golden Globe and we lost to Desperate Housewives, I stormed out and I bumped into Larry David, who lost for Curb, and I'm like, what are you upset about? He goes, what are you upset about? I'm like, I'm scared we're going to get canceled. I don't have $1 billion in the bank from Seinfeld, But I mean, it's wild to see The Office. And again, The Office at the time, I was like, this show is genius, but a lot of people weren't watching it. But the wild thing is now Netflix, put them out. They became the number. HBO hides us. We're like the misogynistic stepchild now. So even when I go to look at it on HBO, I'm like, I type in ENT and all of a sudden Curb comes up. I'm like, where's Entourage?
Really?
Is that an issue? Like, I mean, I was just telling these guys, I've had Jerry Ferrara on the show a couple times, and even the way we used to just joke about it and talk about the show, I feel like is too much, let alone some of the material that was actually on the show. But, I mean, what can you do at this point, right?
Everything is of its time. When I sold the show with Mark Wahlberg, I wanted a show where guys spoke like guys spoke. And in 2003, that's how they spoke. Now, to be honest with you, I never spoke like that, and I don't speak like that now. But whether kids are speaking like that today, I can't tell you. I think the world is a much more politically correct place. And there's stuff I watch on Entourage now that I'm rewatching it for Victory, the podcast, by the way. But I'm like, I'm uncomfortable. I'm like, I would never say that. But the truth is, people go, could you do it today? Well, no one in any office in America would speak the way Ari spoke then, but people did then. It was very realistic to the time. So of course we could do it today. They would just speak the way they speak.
Yeah, it's a period piece. It's like, it's a piece of art,
Listen, I loved your recap that I saw you do like a month or two ago about the song and everything. But the truth is, so much stuff over the last 5 years, stuff that I have loved for 50 years of my life. There's now stuff that makes you go, whoa, holy shit.
Right. I know. It's wild.
I mean, I know every single word of Eddie Murphy, Raw and Delirious. I can say every single word, and I can't say 90% of it without ending my life and my career. So.
Right. It's crazy, man. No, I did say that a couple months ago. I think that you guys own when the HBO symbol pops up and then the snow pops up. The first thing I hear is
it's a no-brainer. It's 1,000%.
And there's a lot of competition. I mean, Game of Thrones has a big one. Curb has a big one. But I hear that down. I mean, it just takes me right back to that time, which was awesome.
Well, I appreciate that, and honestly, that's one of my most nostalgic memories. I was with a bunch of my buddies when I watched it, and my family the first time. And when that thing came up, it gave me chills when we were talking 2003.
I remember talking about the song too. I was pitching Kings of Leon, Holy Roller Novocaine, great song. We played that with the credits, and it was really good. Down between that and Superhero, and of course
the music was all good.
I was gonna say, do you think that's one of what would you list as like the things? Well, most iconic things about Entourage, because I think music is up there. I think it was almost like a testament. It was like a tip of the cap. Like if it ended an Entourage episode, it was like, okay, you guys are the real fucking deal now.
Yeah, I mean, we really, we did a podcast with Scott Venner, who was my music supervisor last week. Music for me from the get-go. I had written in what songs I wanted in the pilot. It's incredibly important to me. I was kind of influenced, and as I've said on our podcast, I'm not comparing myself to Scorsese, but I was very influenced by the way he used music in his movies, and I wanted that to be this. And we were lucky enough that HBO gave us the budget for it because, early on, and again, you can see the music start to shift a little bit as I gave him more control, because I was more classic rock, and you can hear the Doors and the Eagles and whatever early on. But it was incredibly important. But the most iconic things, as you guys will learn as your career goes on, that's not for me to judge. It's like people will hopefully continue to find it and continue to like it. But it was definitely something that we loved making, and definitely did not make to insult people or to, you know, any
Offend
of that.
or whatever. Yeah.
We had Sasha Grey on the show recently, and I was telling her that one of the most iconic things that I remember from the episode is her bush. I was like,
Sasha going bush out was a big moment for the boys. I thank you for that. I don't know whose idea that was, but thank you.
I was like, do you think you started a bush resurgence? She's like, actually, I do. Now that you mention it, like, so people on set were like, yo, is that a bush? And I was like, yeah, I know you watched me fucking porn before.
That was like the Billy Walsh line too. He's like, "I'm gonna bring back the bush."
Yeah, she did.
Bring back the wide bush.
And by the way, obviously,
Still didn't bring it back.
obviously, obviously, women's choice. That was Sasha's choice, and there was a reason behind that. Though she said it doesn't look good in HD, so you know that was her line. And
Really?
Sasha,
That's amazing.
and Sasha was amazing, and you know, was such a regular person, which was the only, I swear to you, and some people did not like that season and that storyline. Go fuck yourself, whatever.
Right, dude.
Yeah.
I love that season. I'm a big season 7 guy.
That was Doug's dark year.
Well,
Is there a reason it took that turn though, or were you just like, I
yeah,
don't know?
there was 100% a reason, and maybe that was my fault. But I would read these stupid fucking message boards, and people were starting to go, everything works out, everything's always good. So I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go dark. So I went dark, but Sasha was the only adult. I got to be careful with every word I say now, but the only adult film star I would have, because she didn't look like a porn star.
Yeah, right.
And she really, like, if you said she went to Princeton, you would have bought it. And honestly, spending time with her as you guys did, you could feel that.
Yeah.
And the best thing was, because I remember the message boards on that were like, why didn't they get a real porn star? And then like somebody would write back, you know what? You should look up her work.
Yeah,
I was
she's
gonna
pretty
say,
fucking
hang
real.
on, that's a real fucking porn star.
That's like Michael Jordan's in the show, and it's like, why didn't you get a real basketball player like that? She's one of the all-time fucking greats, man. Let's show some respect.
We asked her, and she didn't even flinch. We're like, where do you? Because we used to do a show with Asa Akira, and we asked her like, where does she rank herself on the pantheon of porn stars? And she was like, oh, I don't know, like 20 or whatever number she said. It was like, and Sasha just goes, oh no, I'm top 10.
Yeah, she knows. She knows the deal.
She's the real deal.
She's the real deal, and she was great. She was honestly awesome to work with, and you guys got to help her get her for our podcast.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Do you have any regret about like? I try not to ever let message boards, comments, any of that like impact what I actually do. Of course, maybe it bothers you, but then to put, you know, I'm going to change the way I write, or I'm going to do something. Any regrets there, or you're happy with how that came out?
You know what? No, I don't have any regrets, because I think I listened to people. I mean, you know, there's a couple of things, if you remember the show well. I mean, people wanted to know why Medellin was a bomb. I thought it was a big hit when I wrote it. And then we shot this trailer that Mark Wahlberg, who's one of the best directors in the world, who does Game of Thrones and does Succession. He made this trailer, and all of a sudden all the message boards said it looked like shit. Vince's makeup looked terrible, this and that. I'm like, huh. So I made it a bomb, and it actually, I think it worked better for storyline.
Interesting.
You know, the thing about, I think, any writer is you listen and then you take in what makes sense to you. I mean, I would get the same type of shit from these guys. I would get comments and
I
criticism.
gave you a hard time when you made drama too hard on Turtle. Remember, he was my assistant.
Really?
I was beating him up. I was like, you got to cut these bananas thinner. I should be able to
See, that was the best. We love that.
People got pissed.
No one got
drama,
pissed.
they did on the message board. They're like, drama's become a real asshole.
See, the thing I knew with Kevin is he could do anything and get away with it, because you like him. You just like. So,
you redeemed my character at the end of that season.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. But, you know, I do listen. I take in other people's comments. And no, I don't have any regrets, to be honest, about anything. You know, people can say whatever they want. My only regret about the movie is that it didn't come out a year and a half earlier, because I really think the culture was shifting. The movie, I spent a lot of time trying to make it as similar to seasons 1 and 2, which seemed to be people's favorites. And I think we accomplished that. We tested through the roof in marketing, but the world was really changing, and we didn't even know it. The Me Too movement was right around the corner, and all of the reviews were, this is the most misogynistic thing, which
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, and the show was really like, oh, this is the best show on TV.
Right. You did the same exact thing. Yeah.
The same thing. So cultures do shift, and you have to adjust to it. I usually was ahead of the curve, but I missed it on that one. And also we got stuck. I mean, we couldn't get the movie done early enough, and whatever, it is what it is. But I don't have any regrets on anything, because it was a great experience.
Wasn't us, fellas. Wasn't us.
Now, was Vinny single in the movie? as kind of like a fix for the end? Because I think people didn't really love him getting married. Was that why? Like he was right away like, all right, he's single now. Never mind, fuck it.
Yeah, that was part of it. Also, Alice Eve, who's amazing, was like, doing huge movies, so we weren't going to get her anyway. So, but I wanted the movie to have the guys back together as much as possible.
Yeah.
I wanted to keep them like as that original core. Because even looking at season 7 and 8, I was just scanning through for some things today. I'm like, God, who are all these people? There was so many other characters. The early years were really as much as possible of these 4 guys together.
Right.
So, people have preferences to whatever it is, but still, no, there are no regrets. It was a great run, and
I love that having them back together because it is. We had Steve-O on the show last week, I think, and we were talking about how Jackass was one of the shows that really like taught you what male friendship was, and like my other one's Entourage.
Yeah.
Like my entire life is just based on what you taught me.
Is it like that? How are you guys in real life? Are you all tight?
Yeah. I mean,
really tight.
me
Me and Doug are super tight.
certainly,
Connolly and Jerry Ferrara.
Yeah.
And
I
we
mean,
love Adrian. And,
yeah, I mean, we don't see Adrian as much. He's saving the world around.
I was
but,
just gonna say, I feel like when people learn who Adrian is, it's he's different. He's an actor, guys. He's not really Vinny Chase, and I think sometimes that like fucks with people. But
but honestly, he's got so much of that energy that Vince had. He really is just a carefree kind of good spirit who likes to take care of other people. But I mean, Kevin, Jerry, and I have been, we've stayed in close contact, but I still speak to Adrian as well. But the behind the scenes were very similar to in front of the camera in terms of the dynamics between us. And honestly, I feel weird like promoting, but Victory the podcast, you hear it between us. It feels like the show, even though it's not scripted.
Yeah.
Because we bust on each other and we make fun of each other. And it's just like what it is.
Kevin got excited there. He's like,
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
I
I can't go back and listen to any of my podcasts. I don't like looking at any of the videos I make. Is it weird for you at all? Like, Kev, when you see yourself, is there anything where you're like, oh man, I can't believe I said this or did that, or it's all good?
He loves himself.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do look at a scene and I go, I wish I did that differently. I wish Doug didn't steer me down that road. But no, for the most part, watching Entourage, I can watch any episode. I love watching it. I don't really listen to the podcast because I was there. I already said it.
You know it. Yeah, you know the deal. I mean,
the first 3 I listened to, but
it was the first show for me that I think, like, I'm a pretty big TV nut now, and I feel like the first show I ever, like the first premium channel show where it was like I'm gonna watch this week to week and it has a season long arc, all that shit. I think it was Entourage for me, so I think it put it on to every other HBO series and every other hit series. So really paved the way for probably me and a lot of people my age.
And by the way, Obama, you just posted that too. It was President Obama's favorite show.
Yeah.
Really?
Barack watching every night, every week?
He wouldn't miss it.
By the way, you can Google that. It's interesting to read about, which he would never be allowed to say today.
Never.
We were supposed to have Ari, his brother was chief of staff, and we were supposed to go to the White House and actually screen it. But again, I'm telling you, like the culture started shifting, and all of a sudden, like Obama even saying that he thought Entourage was a good show.
Yeah,
I was like, what did he say? Like that feels like a Trump show, maybe. But
That's one of my favorite things that's ever happened, really, is who's the fucking star of Homeland?
Damian Lewis.
Damian Lewis, like Obama loved season 1 of Homeland. So Damian Lewis, before it came out, before it came out on DVD, he gave him the first season on DVD and signed it from one Muslim to another. Like Obama, it's like, yeah, it's like Obama's favorite gift. He thought it was fucking hilarious.
Wow, that is fucking funny shit. That's funny.
I think what's great about the podcast is, and you can check it out, Victory the Podcast, download it, listen to it now. It's a week. You're going episode by episode, right?
Yeah, but we're also, we're doing Entourage, but we're also talking our lives and, our 50 years in Hollywood and
for
friendship.
Sure. A guest come in, we'll just talk about what that guest.
Right. Yeah, we'll talk about Sasha's bush. I get it.
Wait, actually, you know what? We just read before we came in here. Everybody always says it's loosely based on Mark Wahlberg's life. And then Wikipedia said that it was more tightly based on your life, which sounds like it's not about either of your lives then. It's just a fucking story.
It's a story, but of course it was inspired by Mark's life. But the first thing I said to him is like, I don't really know your friends like I need to. I need to make this New York, and I need to make characters my friends. while using, because I'm not a movie star and I haven't had the rise that Mark had, which was
Right.
basically also part of the struggle of the show. Everyone's like, why does everything work out? I'm like, because it all works out for fucking Mark.
It did. Look at Mark Wahlberg, man. It fucking worked out.
I try to keep him down so much more than like Mark's actual life. But the truth is, I wanted a Sunday night that you had fun and you felt good. And you didn't.
Yes.
like-
Yeah.
and
You know what?
like-
Every fucking showrunner and writer tries to get so cute with it now. And I think there's something to be said. I think the reason why every show with the finale always kind of drops the ball, it's because you're afraid to wrap it up in a bow. And it's just like, just fucking wrap it up. People like it. Just give them what they want and let the haters fucking cry about it.
Yeah,
You
well,
always kind of wrapped it up nicely.
I
Yeah.
also, I
Worked
do
out
like
in the finale.
all our endings, but I'll end it with this. I mean, I did, because I was so tired of people, like they started doing sketches. Oh, everything's all good and making fun of us. I was gonna kill Vince in the finale.
Oh, you should have done that. You definitely either wrap it up or burn it down.
I like how Kevin went the exact opposite.
Wrap it up or burn it down. That's fucking great.
Can you imagine drama as a pallbearer?
Oh.
Okay, so Wahlberg, who really was the fucking best producer ever and was supportive and helped us get when we needed Tom Brady, Scorsese, James Cameron, whatever. But he called me up and said, "Are you out of your fucking mind?"
How were you going to kill him? What was going to be the cause of death?
It was going to be an OD or something.
Yeah. Oh, that would have been dark and great.
And no one would have seen it coming. Because
Nobody.
They were, again, no regrets, but we were getting this negative energy towards the end of the show, which I look back on it now. I'm like, fuck you,
Yeah.
I wanted people, and I do think our quarter audience on Sunday night, they left at the end of 8 seasons and they felt good. Like,
100%.
it wasn't, but I wanted to shock the shit out of people. But I think Mark was right. I think Mark
He was definitely right. That was hard.
The OD is perfect too, because I still remember when it's season 7 when Vinny's in the hospital and it's just a Ziploc bag of coke. Like, it is the most cocaine you've ever seen in your life, and it's like, this was in Vin's pocket. I'm like, I don't think that could fit in Vin's pocket.
It's so funny though, because when the show started, I was just like cocaine. I was like, it's such a dirty drug. That's not going to be what this show is. This is not a bunch of like drug addicts in Hollywood. This is going to be like good guys in Hollywood,
Right.
kind of, And but I love the Sasha stuff.
That was your dark year.
Listen, get the band back together, shoot one more scene, you'll break the fucking internet with a Vinny Chase death scene. Just do it.
Is there any truth to, didn't Piven say recently that like there's maybe a reboot or a spin-off or whatever coming?
Maybe he's writing it, but I'm not. I don't know.
It did sound like he was angling for himself.
I might do a Johnny Drama spin.
Yeah.
There you go. Let's do it.
I don't like the whole.
Come on, baby.
The whole Hollywood thing. I mean, listen, again, the show to me, like Piven was incredible. There's nobody on earth that could have been better in that role. But the show, what always was the thing for me was the 4 guys were the core, and the friendship and the loyalty of it is far more interesting to me than Hollywood stuff. So
Hollywood exec, yeah.
so I don't even want to watch Hollywood in 2020, to be honest with you. But we had its run. The only thing I would even contemplate anymore is animated, which we've talked about a little bit. But
Johnny Bananas, baby.
yeah,
Johnny Bananas. Listen, Entourage fans will watch anything you guys put out. So well done. I thought it's iconic shit, and thanks for the memories. So
Speaking of, I noticed you're wearing a Medellin t-shirt. Is that
you know what? And by the way, I don't normally wear stuff like this. I don't know why. I saw this in my drawer today, and I'm like, you know what? I'm doing the podcast. Why not? So
it's a great fucking t-shirt. But if you had to list Vinny's movies, which would be your favorite in order?
Oh, well, it's got to be Scorsese. I don't know. He had such great directors. Like
Aquaman.
Darabont and Cameron. So, but Medellin, I had a special place in that. You know what? This came up because
Billy Walsh.
my name's in this, Ellen. And that's
slick. Slick.
But I read the book Killing Pablo, and I wish I was smart enough to go, why don't I make this a real movie? Because they've done like obviously Narcos
and
that.
shit. Yeah.
But I read it on a vacation, and I thought that this would be like an amazing movie. And the Billy Walsh character is one of all of our favorite like guest stars. So that would probably be my one that I'd actually like to see and review. I think people might revisit Medellin and think it was better than it was back then.
I think Viking Quest is right.
Well played. All right, so it's called Victory the Podcast. It's Kev, Doug, and the rest of the guys going through the series and the seasons of Entourage. So go give it a listen, and thanks for the memories, boys.
Thank you so much, guys. Great talking to you.
Victory!
Have a good one. Victory!